What's going on, football fans and Cowboys Nation? This is not a drill, this is absolutely, positively real and happening right now. We've just gotten confirmation that Travis Etienne, the electric, game-changing running back from the Jacksonville Jaguars, has just signed a blockbuster deal with the Dallas Cowboys, and let me tell you, this is the kind of move that sends shockwaves across the entire NFL. I'm talking ripple effects from Dallas to Jacksonville to every single defensive coordinator in the league who just let out a groan because, yes, they now have to figure out how to stop Eddienne in a star-studded Cowboys offense. This is the kind of news that breaks Twitter, crashes fantasy football servers, and makes Cowboys fans scream out loud in their living rooms. You want drama? You want impact? This move checks every single box. Let's get right into it. Travis Etienne has agreed to terms with the Cowboys on what we are hearing is a multi-year contract, with a base reportedly somewhere around $42 million, with about $22 million guaranteed, and performance-based bonuses that could push this total over $50 million if certain benchmarks are met. Think rushing yards, touchdowns, all-purpose yards, and possibly a Pro Bowl nod. This is a huge deal, both in terms of financial commitment and what it means for the direction of the Cowboys organization heading into this season. And for those of you who are maybe new to Travis Etienne, let me just hit you with the quick some former Clemson star, first-round pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, a guy who absolutely lit it up in college and brought that same electricity to the pros once he got healthy. In his first full 2 seasons with Jacksonville, he totaled more than 2,700 rushing yards, added another 700 through the air, and scored 18 total touchdowns. He's fast, he's shifty, he can run inside and outside, and perhaps most importantly in today's NFL, he can catch the football. He's the modern prototype running back, and he's still young, explosive, and entering his prime. Now, the Cowboys signing Travis Etienne changes everything. We knew Dallas had a question mark at running back. They brought back Ezekiel Elliott, but that was more of a locker room move than an on-field solution. Rico Dowdle has been a serviceable backup, but he's not the guy who's going to strike fear into defenses. They needed a real game breaker, and now they've got one. Eddienne immediately becomes the focal point of this running game and possibly the most dynamic weapon in the Cowboys' offensive arsenal. This is huge for Dak Prescott, who has shouldered way too much of the offensive burden in recent years. Giving him a running back like Eddienne takes pressure off, opens up play action, and creates mismatches all over the field. Eddienne's ability to line up in the slot or motion out wide gives offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer a whole new toy to play with. Expect the playbook to expand significantly. They can run screens, angle routes, wheel routes, RPOs, you name it. Eddienne's presence forces defenses to account for him on every single snap, and that alone can shift coverages and create opportunities for the Cowboys' already talented group of receivers, including CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. Just imagine the stress this puts on a defense. Lamb out wide, Cooks stretching the field, and Eddienne leaking out of the backfield on a delayed route. It's a nightmare. Let's also talk about how this changes the identity of the Dallas offense. For years, they've struggled to maintain a balanced attack. They've leaned on the pass when they needed to, but that often led to mistakes, forced throws, turnovers, stalled drives. Eddienne gives them a legitimate ground threat that can turn a 2-yard gain into 20 in the blink of an eye. That's what he brings: home run potential every time he touches the football. And he's not just a guy who breaks off big plays, he's consistent. He moves the chains. He wears down defenses. This is going to keep Dallas on schedule, in manageable down and distance situations, and that's where the Cowboys thrive. This also impacts the time of possession battle, something Dallas has lost too often in big games. With Eddienne, they can sustain drives, control the clock, and keep their defense off the field. Speaking of defense, this signing helps them too. It's the complementary football effect. The longer the offense stays on the field, the fresher the defense remains. And Dallas has a top 5 defense when rested and positioned well. So this is not just an offensive upgrade, it's a team-wide boost. Now let's talk about Jacksonville's side of things for a second. Why would they let a guy like Eddienne walk? From what we're hearing, It came down to salary cap issues and confidence in their depth. They've got Tank Bigsby waiting in the wings, and they believe he can be a lead back on a rookie contract. Eddienne, while beloved in Jacksonville, was going to command big money, and with Trevor Lawrence's mega extension looming, the Jags had to make some tough financial calls. That opened the door for Dallas, and Jerry Jones didn't blink. He saw an opportunity and made the move, and credit where it's due, this was aggressive, it was bold, and it was exactly what this franchise needed. Cowboys fans have been calling for a major splash this offseason, and this is it. This isn't just a signing, it's a statement. And now let's shift over to the locker room and chemistry side of things. From everything we've seen and heard, Eddienne is a locker room guy. High character, hardworking, team first. That's going to mesh well with the Cowboys culture. He's played in big games at Clemson, knows what pressure feels like, and now he's stepping onto one of the biggest stages in American sports. The lights will be brighter in Dallas, no doubt, but Eddienne has always risen to the occasion. And I don't think for a second he's going to fold. In fact, I think he's going to thrive. He's now got a national spotlight every Sunday, he's got one of the best offensive lines in football blocking for him, and he's got a coaching staff that knows how to scheme for playmakers. All the ingredients are there for a breakout season. And just wait until the fantasy football world catches up. Eddienne's draft stock is going to absolutely skyrocket. He's going from a solid RB2 in Jacksonville to a potential top 5 fantasy RB in Dallas. PPR leagues? Watch out, this guy might catch 60-70 balls this year if everything clicks. That's going to be huge for fantasy players looking for a versatile RB1 who produces every single week. Fan reaction, as expected, has been absolutely wild. Social media is flooded with Cowboys fans celebrating, Jaguars fans saying their goodbyes, and NFL analysts weighing in on what this means for the broader league. Some are already calling it the signing of the year. Others are cautious, wondering if Eddienne can hold up over a full season as the featured back. But one thing everyone agrees on, this is a high-impact move that immediately makes Dallas better. It also shifts the NFC landscape. Suddenly, the Cowboys are looking like serious contenders. You pair Eddienne's dynamic play with a healthy offensive line, an improving Dak Prescott, a deep wide receiver core, and that nasty defense, and you've got a team that can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the conference, including the 49ers and Eagles. We'll be watching those first routes out of the backfield, those first zone reads, those first stretch runs. And don't be surprised if Eddienne lights it up from day one. This is a guy who's hungry, who's got something to prove, and who's walking into a situation perfectly suited to his skill set. And if you're a defensive coordinator in the NFC East right now, you're scrambling. How do you game plan for this offense now? You've got speed on the outside, a mobile quarterback, and now a back who can do it all. Blitzing becomes riskier, zone coverage gets picked apart, everything becomes harder, and that's the whole point of this signing. It gives Dallas flexibility, unpredictability, and firepower. Let's talk about it, and as always, stay tuned right here for all the latest updates, film breakdowns, fantasy forecasts, and more. We'll have coverage every step of the way. This is your #1 place for breaking NFL news, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Travis Etienne in a Cowboys uniform, it's real, it's official, and it's absolutely game-changing.